ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಎ strong and very old member of Chinmaya Mission for the last 23 years. She is a study group Sevika for 17 years, conducts one online class and one hybrid class for Swadhyaya. She is a Balavihar Sevika for last 19 years. She is the secretary of the Chinmaya Mission. Here we can understand her role. As a secretary, she is totally committed to the mission. And she is also the member of the Balavihar core team. Today, she is going to speak to us on Arjuna, the current location. ಅಂದರೆ ಅರ್ಜುನ ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅರ್ಜುನ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವೇ ಅರ್ಜುನ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಶಾಯದ್ ಅವರ ಲೆಕ್ಚರನ್ನು ಕೇಳೋಣ. ಓವರ್ ಟು ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಶಾಲಿನಿ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್. ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಓಂ ಸಮಸ್ತ ಜನ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣೇ ನಿರತಂ ಕರುಣಾಮಯಂ ನಮಾಮಿ ಚಿನ್ಮಯಂ ದೇವಂ ಸದ್ಗುರುಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದ್ವರಂ. ಓಂ ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಯ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ ಹರಯೇ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನೆ ಪ್ರಣತ ಕ್ಲೇಶನಾಶಾಯ ಗೋವಿಂದಾಯ ನಮೋ ನಮಃ. My humble and grateful pranams at the holy feet of Pujya Gurudev and various Mahatmas actually who have lovingly guided me through their words and grace. My immense gratitude to Chinmaya Mission and all the Acharyas. This is where I found a platform for a lot of learning and seva. My heartfelt gratitude for the inspiration, opportunity, guidance and encouragement of Pujya Swami Brahmanandji. My pranams to Pujya Mataji Samatama. My deep gratitude to Jai Shri Kiriti, in whose class my study class journey began. I'm also very thankful to Sri Seshadriji, who's always encouraged me to write, speak, and share my thoughts, share my learnings. And my lot of gratitude to my study class family, my study class members, my own family, and all the fellow satsangis who have gathered here to listen to us talk. So, it was about 2 weeks ago, I booked a cab from Banshankari. I had to come back home to RR Nagar. And then the Ola app, I got a message saying that my ride had arrived. I went out and saw, but there was no cab, there was no driver. So then immediately my phone rang and it was the driver. I told him I'm waiting on the road, but I don't see him. So he said, "Ma'am, please send me your current location." And then I did. And still he didn't come. I waited for some time. Then I called him up. He said, "Ma'am, you are standing in Banshankari, but you put your current location as RR Nagar." So that was an embarrassing moment. I put down the phone and said, "Oh my God, how did this happen?" Now, what has this to do with my topic? So, someone else made the same mistake, and that was Arjuna. So he stood not just between two armies, but he stood looking at something that struck him deeply within. And that led him to a state of confusion. And in that confusion, he thought, first of all, that the destination was almost where he was standing. He said, "It's time for me to go take up sannyasa." But there was a lot of difference between his current location and his destination, but it was a complete misunderstanding that I'm already at my destination. So, but that was not all. He also, had a feeling that something is wrong, something fundamentally is wrong here. So, in that state of confusion, he became the right disciple for the guidance given in the Bhagavad Gita. Coming to us, we are walking the spiritual path, right? Now the path is such that my current location and my destination seems to be me myself. This clearly indicates that it's not some journey we take outwards, but it's very much an inward journey. It's a U-turn, like Gurudev would say. It's a journey from self-ignorance to self-knowledge, from who I think I am to who I truly am, from aham jivaha asmi to aham brahmasmi. So, and Gurudev would also say this is a one-way street. Now that we've all entered, there's no turning back. So, this type of destination, this kind of a U-turn, these are not something we are familiar with. And when we try to embark on such a journey, there seems to be so many paths. So many people are telling us so many things that we can do, so many advices coming, and a roadmap would make sense, only when I know where I stand now. If I know where I stand now, I can choose my path correctly. I can make my preparations correctly. So, for this, I need to know my current location. So, what is this current location? So, current location is not where I am, but what I am. So, it's a self assessment. What is the quality of my mind? How easily do I get disturbed? How much am I attached to the world outside, which includes people, situations, objects? So, when I know where I stand, or rather what I am at present, then I can choose my next step. The path opens up. So, this path being one of a U turn, what is really important here is to have clarity about ourselves. Only then can I do the inward journey, right? So, then only my path is clear to me. So, when I have some clarity about myself, then I can sort of get a clarity on what path suits me better. And this would be based on how is my mind, what is the texture of my mind. And as Puja Gurudev would ask, are you head kind, heart head kind, or heart kind? So based on that, I can plan my journey. Now, how do I do this? How do I get that clarity? So for this, regular introspection is the only way out. Now, if you think of introspection, we introspect on many things, even in life. But that's not the introspection we're talking here. So, this kind of an introspection in an inward journey, introspection about myself, my mind, this must be done with some guidance. And this guidance is what we have in the Bhagavad Gita, where the Guru is none other than the Lord Himself, who comes to us as the Gita Charya. And the disciple is also he represents such a beautiful personality that Bhagwan says, my Sakha. I mean, how much closer, right? If God has to say He's my Sakha. So, but then what about this Arjuna makes him the right disciple? So let's explore a little on the character Arjuna. At this point, my deepest gratitude to Bhagwan Vedavyasji for giving us this beautiful epic Mahabharata where every character means something. Just like we just heard, every character, if we just look at the character, our guidance is right there. So now we are seeing Arjuna. So if you see, Arjuna was the one who chose Bhagwan. It's not so much that Bhagwan chose him to give this guidance, but first Arjuna chose Bhagwan. And that makes it the most important thing. We put one step towards him, he comes 10 steps running towards us. So the very fact that he chose Bhagwan over the world makes him the right disciple, qualified disciple. Also, he was the one Pandava who went twice on exile. And both the times, he didn't come back after a jolly trip, but he came back with so much preparation. His mind was prepared in different ways. He picked up various knowledge systems, he picked up astras, he made the right alliances, satsanga, if you want to call it. So he made all that and he ensured he came back prepared for himself and for his side, the Pandava side. And the icing on the cake was when he and Duryodhana went to meet Bhagwan, and two things were offered. One was Bhagwan himself and the other was the Narayani Sena. We all know the story. So Arjuna made the right choice there. which becomes such an important factor for him to be the right disciple. But nobody is perfect. Neither was Arjuna nor are we. So it is for the imperfect ones, it is for the ones who are confused that guidance is required, right? So that's how we can become the right disciples to receive. If we don't even need it, why will we become disciples? Or if we can't take in what is given, then also we are not the right disciples. Another point to see here is the symbolism in of the Pandavas. So Pandu, the character, stands for Viveka, and Kunti, the character, stands for Bhakti. Now, when Viveka and Bhakti come together, what we get is Yudhishthira. Yudhishthirata. So the ability to stay rooted in dharma as we live our life. Now, this is not easy. So we have Bhima, who is Bala. So that is dharmic strength. Now, even this much is not enough. We have all our instruments, each one taking us away in different directions. Once we have these two rooted in dharma and the strength, next is to channelize all our instruments, all our tools in one path so that it takes us to our destination, right? So that channelization, that integration of instruments is what our dear Arjuna represents. His uniqueness is arjavam, or straightforwardness, not vadagando haragando. He is the same in and out, and he knows what, he knows the importance of that. Now such an Arjuna becomes Sudhihi, Partho Vatsa Sudhi Bhokta. So this Sudhihi is what is required to grasp what Bhagavan is telling us in the Bhagavad Gita. Also, as Gurudev says, and I quote, standing between the two forces, good and bad, arrayed for a battle to death, Arjuna surrendered completely to the Lord. The Lord, the subtler discriminative intellect, the charioteer, who held the five senses back and halted the body in a perfect standstill. When the stunned and confused ego, Arjuna, totally surrenders to Krishna, the Lord, with a smile, reassures the jiva of its final victory and declares the entire message of spiritual redemption, the Bhagavad Gita. So, with all this preparation and more importantly his surrender, Arjuna became that qualified disciple, chosen one, first because he chose wisely. And Bhagavad Gita is the roadmap to our destination, which is absolute freedom here and now. So, all this was about Arjuna. But what about me? We are all Swarthis, right? But in this case, Swarthi is good. So, if Arjuna was considered or is considered the right disciple for Bhagavan to give that divine guidance, then it's obvious that I must aim to be such an Arjuna so that I may also get that guidance. So, which means I also have to integrate my personality, my mind, intellect, BMI. So, every time I read the Bhagavad Gita or study or even just open the Bhagavad Gita, wherever there is Arjuna, that should be me. I am that Arjuna that Bhagavan is talking to. Because if Krishna told Arjuna something, nange nagbekagide, right? It makes sense only if I put myself in the place of Arjuna and then see the guidance. So, like Gurudev says, he would ask, okay, you went through Bhagavad Gita so many times, but how many times did the Bhagavad Gita go through you? So, if the Bhagavad Gita has to go through us, I must be Arjuna. So, that's where the relevance of Arjuna being the current location that I must put myself in. Now, to be this Arjuna, in the Bhagavad Gita itself, there are lots of clues, lots of indicators, pointers. But as Puja Gurudev would say, from time to time, take an honest look at yourself. It pays. So, this introspection that we do, this honest look, should be a ruthless introspection. I must ruthlessly check, am I an Arjava? Have I integrated my mind and intellect? Am I prepared for this guidance that is there in the Bhagavad Gita that I am trying to get? And this we must do regularly, not once in the beginning and then study. No, this has to happen every day, because in a journey, the current location is also moving, isn't it, towards the destination. So, in this process, in trying to find the clues as to how we can be Arjuna, if we see the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Gitacharya has addressed Arjuna by many names, different names. Now, Veda Vyasji or Sri Krishna Paramatma did not randomly choose these names. There was a purpose to choosing each name in that context. And if we just look at that itself, we get a lot of clues as to how we must be to be that Arjuna. We'll see a few names. Kaunteya is a very commonly encountered name in the Bhagavad Gita, and Kaunteya is Kunti's son, and Kunti we saw is Bhakti. So if you open the shlokas, wherever the word Kaunteya comes, you'll see that that context needs us to have Shraddha in the Lord, Shraddha in the scriptures, Bhakti in Bhagwan. So that is Kaunteya indicating to us also. Next is Pandava. So in the 16th chapter, we see that Bhagwan is giving him an assurance, you are a Pandava, which means you are Pandu's son, which means you are born of Viveka, which means you can distinguish between Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. And you can choose Daivi Sampat over Asuri Sampat. Then we have Mahabahu and Parantapa, where Arjuna is reminded of his strength, but with also a warning that it's not only the outer strength, but you develop that strength within, conquer your enemies on the inside. So this is a very important pointer for us also. We are not fighting a battle, but in our introspection, we are also trying to find those enemies within. Then another name is Dhananjaya, one who has conquered wealth. What kind of wealth? Not again the outer wealth, but the Shat Sampatti, Viveka, Vairagya. So these, anything that expands the mind is our wealth. Then we have a whole set of names like Kuru Nandana, Kuru Shrestha, Kuru Sattama, Bharata, Bharatarshabha. So all of these indicating best of the Kurus, and the Kuru family was always known to uphold dharma, and they always did their duty. So this is another clue for us. And Bharata Vamsha indicates sign of nobility and tejas. And if you see, all of us are Bharata Vamshis. We are in that land, right? We're born in that land where the glory of this spirituality is seen in everyday simple living. So yes, we are also reminded of our own strengths with this. These were common names, and there are some specific names to Arjuna. Gudakesha is one of them. Gudakesha is one who has conquered sleep or tamas, and inertia, especially intellectual inertia, is one of the worst enemies for any sadhaka. So to conquer that, and the context, he says, Aham Atma Gudakesha. So unless that tamas has been won over, unless that curtain of avidya completely falls, how can I see that I am Atma? So Gudakesha is a very strong pointer for us. Another one is Anagha. Anagha, the sinless one, the pure-minded one. And the context, 3rd chapter, 14th chapter, 15th chapter. So these are places where jnana is the highlight, and we've all seen that purity of mind is of utmost importance to get this jnana. We may keep reading, but if there's no purity, then nothing's going inside. So Anagha is to indicate to us, develop that purity of mind so you can go beyond this world of objective thought. Then another beautiful name is Savya Sachin. Savya Sachin indicating Arjuna's unique skill in using the bow and arrow in both hands. Now this is a skill, this is a talent that he had. And where does Bhagavan say this? Nimitta matram bhava Savya Sachin. So it's a clear indication that all your strengths, your talent, invest it in the Lord. Leave it to Him. You be available to Him. So He will make use of your talent, your skill in His plan. And His plan is a beautiful, vast plan where everybody's hita is considered, not just mine. So whatever talents we may have, let us offer it in service to Bhagwan. And in our case, I think Gurudev has given such a beautiful platform to do the same. So this is extremely helpful for all of us, being grahasthas, action oriented. So Bhagwan knows where to place us, and He has placed us there. So my only job is to ensure whatever talent I have, whatever strength I have, I pour it out not just for myself, but in the service of the Lord. Like Raviji said, aren't we also in that same world? So, yeah. So, humility and gratitude is the takeaway from Savya Sachin. Then we have Anasuyuhu. So, this is also another powerful pointer. Anasuyuhu is one who does not keep seeing dosha in everything that he sees. So, a non critical, non judgmental mind is Anasuyuhu. So, Arjuna is addressed, Hey Anasuyave, in the 9th chapter. And in 9th chapter, the topic is Jnana and Vijnana, which is the highest knowledge, and how to recognize that subjective experience of that knowledge as me, myself. So, if we have a mind that is constantly distracted by judgments and being, very labeling kind, then it's a distracted mind. And such a distracted mind can never dwell on Jnana or Vijnana. So, this name, Anasuyuhu, helps us see the importance of an open mind, alert mind that is not distracted. So all this was about Arjuna, and then what about sorry. Yeah, so these were some names that we saw from the Bhagavad Gita, but there are general pointers also if we take different chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. So he has scattered them everywhere. In second chapter, we have Sthita Prajna Lakshanas. Then we have Karma Yogis Lakshanas in third chapter, fourth chapter. Almost entire Bhagavad Gita has about Karma Yogi. Then we have Bhaktas Lakshanas, chapter 7, 9, 12. Again, Bhaktara Lakshanas are also in almost all chapters. Then we have Daivi Sampat, all concentrated in the 16th chapter. Then we have all the sattvic aspects starting from 14th chapter, 14, 16, 17, 18. So all of this is pointers, indicators, guidance for us. So we may, because we put in so much of our time in studying the Bhagavad Gita, it should be efficient. So unless we do this introspection, that efficiency will not come in. But once this guidance is done, Gitacharya says, he says, I leave the ball in your court, Arjuna. Yatha ichasi tatha kuru. I have told you what I have to tell. You do what you think you should do. The choice is yours. And Arjuna says, Karishya Vachanam Tava. So may we also say Karishya Vachanam Tava when he speaks to us from the inside. So, like Arjuna, let us also see Bhagwan as that best buddy. Let us choose him over this world. Let us seek Bhagwan's guidance through his words in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Upanishads, and through so many acharyas. Let us develop those qualities which he has indicated in the Bhagavad Gita for us. Let us freely ask him questions and listen with an open mind, because surely he answers. Answers actually come within. So if we can listen to it, they're all there. Let us take that U-turn, after which there is no return. He will then ensure that I stay established in my true nature, in the self as the self. Again, Bhagavad Vedavyasji, master storyteller who has woven so much into this beautiful epic, into the Bhagavad Gita. We give credit to Arjuna and to Bhagwan, Krishna Paramatma. Let's not forget that it was Vedavyasji who is also Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya only. So my humble pranams, actually at a loss as to how we can offer our pranams to this great Bhagwan Vedavyasji. But we can say Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vasisthaya Namo Namah. This whole program was for the 75-year celebration, but 75 years is just an excuse to celebrate. His work goes on till eternity. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hari Om.
Thank you, madam. Arjuna's current location, from first chapter to 18th chapter, she has covered all the places, and she has given a gist of whole of Bhagavad Gita as applicable to us. The one statement by the Bhagwan, what she mentioned, is so nice. You take one step, I will take 10 steps towards you. That is the basic, any God is like a parent. Like parent wants to, just the children wants to come to the parent one step, and the parent is wanting to go more closer to the child. And we are all like that. And let us pray that we all at least take not even one step, even half step, so that he will take 20 steps towards us. Thank you very much, madam, for your nice talk. And tomorrow's program is an important program. Tomorrow is Puja Gurudev's 110th birth, rather Jayanti, what we call. And tomorrow's program is at 6 o'clock, the bhajan and the Guru Paduka Puja by Sri Aravind and family. After that, we have Madam Kavita speaking Samatva Yoga Uchyate in English, and Guruji Sheshadri GN Geeta for Success and Moksha in Kannada. It will be a very beautiful topic to listen to from by all of us, and kindly request not only you people coming in, bring more people. This is an important talk by our expert master teacher who is conducting Swadhyaya classes all over Bangalore, and let us listen to him and also take part in Puja Gurudev's 110th Jayanti. Now we'll close the session today with the mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om.